Hey guys, what's up? It's Alex here. Today we are here with a 100% race on F1 2013 career mode. We're going to be doing the whole race with live commentary, so hopefully it's going to be exciting for you guys. And yeah, remember to hit subscribe if you haven't already, because I guess there might be a couple of new viewers tuning into this video, as 100% races always, you know, tend to get a couple of new viewers on board. So, you know, hit subscribe if you haven't already. I'd like to do more of these in the future if it gets a good support. So, yeah, going through turn 1, getting past Vettel there. Sneaky manoeuvre down the outside there, so we're up into first position, but it looks like Vettel is going to run side by side with us. But you know, if you enjoy this, guys, please remember to hit the like button and share it out to friends, and even leave a comment down below about what I can improve, because I definitely want to do more 100% races, but I just haven't found the time as of yet to do it. But here we are, we're doing a 100% race finally on F1 2013. I did one on F1 2012, which was, I think I did it one round here in the McLaren. I think it was Jenson Button's McLaren. So I'm looking forward to doing this race today. Actually, it might have been Lewis Hamilton's McLaren, I can't remember, but it's definitely on my channel. You can go check it out if you want. That was actually a really good race. I'm hoping this race is just as good, because that was one of the most exciting races I've had on F1 games in the recent years, and I'm hoping this one's going to be similar. I think this is going to be a rainy race later on as well, so you know, we've got to make sure these tyres last and we don't just completely destroy them. But it looks like Sebastian Vettel's looking for a move down the inside here into the Parabolica. Doesn't get it stuck, however, and he sits back in second position for now. But I've got about 12 or so topics, I think, to talk about. I asked you guys on Twitter and Facebook to just send me a couple of things to talk about during this long video, as I realise it will be going on for about 1 hour 20, 1 hour 30. You know, it's going to be quite a long video, and you know, I thought this was a video I definitely want to do in full. So yeah, hopefully you enjoy it. And you know, if you want to come back to it, I think you can add it to a playlist, or you can add it to favourites, or you can add it to watch later. That's if you want to come back and watch it. You know, say you watch 15 minutes now, you want to watch 15 minutes tomorrow, something like that. Because I realise 100, I suppose it will be 100 or so minutes, won't it? And I made a mistake there whilst trying to calculate maths, and that wasn't a good idea. So yeah, about 100 minutes, so that's around 1 hour 30, 1 hour 40. It just depends how, you know, many sort of safety car periods, or how long it rains for, something like that. It just depends on that sort of stuff happening. So we'll see what happens, but it's definitely looking like a really interesting race from the offset here. You know, I think it's perfect difficulty for me, the expert difficulty. I'm obviously playing with it in career mode. If you haven't checked out career mode and you are a new viewer to this video, I advise you go and check career mode, because it's in the Ferrari at least, I think it's been a really exciting season. And it's been quite fun. I've really sort of got to grasp with this game a little bit more in recent days and weeks. So I'm looking forward to improving this throughout this as well. So we'll see what happens. I don't really know how this race is going to pan out. I know the Ferrari isn't the fastest car over a race distance. I'd assume that the Red Bull is, but you know, maybe the Lotus is up there as well. And maybe even the Mercedes. I don't really know, to be perfectly honest, but it's going to be a really exciting race. You can see there straight away that these guys are faster than me, so I'm going to have to really hope that pit strategy works in my favour here, and who knows what's going to happen. But at the moment we are leading this race. We're only on lap 3 or 53, so it's going to be fun. So you know, I better get into these topics because I've got quite a lot of them, and I realise during live commentary I normally mess up my words a little bit and probably repeat stuff from time to time. So when we get into this next straight, I will get into these subjects. I'll dive into them, and yeah, hopefully they can be interesting to you guys watching, because I realise this race isn't going to be exciting for all 53 laps, but obviously I will cut away to the exciting bits, you know, not talking about topics or whatever. So first question comes in from Sam, and this is on Facebook, by the way, and he says, what are your predictions for 2014? And also Kenneth on Twitter asked the same question, so I thought I'll just give him a little mention on there as well. So predictions for 2014. He also has another question, but I'll get onto that in a minute. So 2014 is going to be a really interesting year. You've obviously got the return of the turbo, the engines, obviously smaller engines. I think it's 1.6 engines, I think. Probably wrong, but so we've got smaller engines, turbocharged engines, and it's overall looking really exciting. Obviously the aerodynamics looking like they're going to be different as well, due to a couple of new rules that have been set in recent weeks and months. So it's looking really exciting. I mean, apart from the engine noise that a lot of people have complained about, I actually am really looking forward to 2014. I think it's going to be a lot more unpredictable than people really think. I mean, a lot of people think that Sebastian Vettel was going to run away with this. I mean, if he does, you know, good on him. He's mastered the new regulations, so have Red Bull, and you know, they're going to go probably through another generation of dominating. But you know, if I'm pretty sure that Sebastian Vettel isn't going to run away with this. I think he's going to have a lot more of a challenge this year. I think it's going to be a year probably quite like 2012, where we remember, you know, the first 7 races, I think it was, we had 7 different winners, and I really think that we're going to have something similar like that. Probably not 7 out of the 7 first races, but I would expect us to probably maybe get 6-7 race winners over the season, which I think is going to be good for the sport. I mean, I watched F1 Legends thing on Sky F1 about with Eddie Irvine, and he says that, well, he was saying, I should say, that maybe, you know, having loads of different winners over a season is a bad thing. I personally disagree with that. I'd like to see loads of different people winning. I think it's just good for the sport. You know, it keeps the fans happy. I mean, you know, in 2012 we had a Williams winning for the first time in like 6 or 7 years, and if you're a Williams fan, you're going to really like that. So it's good to see that they, you know, they had the 7 out of 7. I mean, I really think that we're going to have something similar in 2014. I really hope we do, because, you know, 2013, you know, no offense to Vettel, was quite boring, because Vettel did win everything. Maybe even Vettel fans are probably getting a little bit boring of seeing him doing so well. I mean, obviously we're witnessing one of the greatest drivers of our generation racing here, and you know, I don't think many people appreciate that. But yeah, we are seeing one of the greatest drivers of our generation here, in a very good car with a very good team. And you know, I think he deserved 2013. Let's be honest here, he really did deserve it. No team came anywhere close. His teammate Webber didn't come anywhere close. I mean, Mark Webber, you know, saying that he just couldn't keep up with Vettel. It's, you know, it's obviously a big thing. I mean, Vettel was, you know, coming from nowhere in 2007. I think he scored points in his first race with Sauber BMW, and went on to win a race in 2008 here in Monza. And you know, overall, I think a lot of people don't appreciate what Vettel is, but you know, the thing is with the sport like this, you know, you support whoever you support, and I don't have a, you know, I don't hold a grudge if you don't like a certain driver. I don't really, you know, I don't really want to make it sound rude here, but I don't really care if you don't like other people, whatever. You know, it's up to personal opinion, and everyone deserves an opinion. So, you know, you can't be saying, oh, you're wrong because, you know, your opinion isn't the same as mine. But I don't know how I got onto that subject. 2014 is looking like it's going to be a fun season. You know, a lot of talk about the Mercedes engines being the best. If that's the case, then we're going to see Force India, Williams, Mercedes, obviously, and McLaren being up the front. Obviously, if that engine's reliable, you know, even if the car's bad, you know, the engine being reliable could put them up the front of the grid. So, you know, that could be exciting to see. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if we saw, you know, at least a couple of engine failures each and every race. I think it's going to be that sort of season. It's going to be that sort of season to see cars retiring. I mean, maybe seeing only like 13, 14 cars getting to the finish of each race, and that's when it's going to be key to be someone like Max Chilton that just brings the car home. Actually, if they have a reliable source of power and everything, power plant. That's what I was trying to say. I think they're running Ferraris next year. If the Ferrari's a competitive car, a competitive engine, I should say, we could see Max Chilton maybe getting a point or two. I mean, even if their car isn't very good, but you know, he's very consistent. He's not as fast as Bianchi, but he is consistent. And you know, you never know, he could bring home the first points to one of those new teams just because he brings it home to the finish. We'll see what happens. It's going to be an exciting season, I think. But we have really pulled away, haven't we? I mean, it's in career mode. I don't know whether you guys watch it or not, but Mercedes having someone in the pits. Hamilton's coming in the pits next couple of laps. I'm pitting on lap 15. But yeah, what was I talking? I don't even know now. But yeah, we could see someone like Chilton getting the first points just because this car's consistent, and it might not necessarily be the fastest driver that gets it, but we're doing really well actually. You know, our times are coming down. I suppose the fuel load is coming down, and overall it's going quite well. So that's one of the topics discussed. Hopefully I answered your question, Sam and Kenneth and anybody else that was wondering. But yeah, let's move on to another question I've got here. it was actually by Sam again, saying, what are your expectations of Ricciardo? So, you know, he's a very fast driver, let's not forget that. Winning, I think, Junior Formula, I don't think he won World Series by Renault 3.5, but I think he won Formula 3, British F3, I think he won that. So he's a very fast driver. He got to the top end of open-wheeled sports. What am I trying to say here? He got to the top end of open-wheeled race cars, Formula 1, very legitimately. Obviously through the help of Red Bull as well. I suppose if Red Bull weren't there, he probably wouldn't have got up through it as easily. But I do see Ricciardo as a very fast driver. I don't see him having as much pure pace as Verne. I'm sorry if that offends anyone there, but I don't see him as having as much pure pace as Verne. But over a race distance, I do see him as the more consistent driver, and I do see him as really the better driver over a race. At first, I was really hoping that Verne was going to get the seat, but double thinking, like checking it back and thinking about it twice, I do sort of realise that Verne probably wasn't going to be the best sort of scenario. I mean, he wasn't going to be bringing home as many points as Ricciardo, then let's be honest here. Because in a Toro Rosso, I suppose you do need to have someone like, you're going to the gravel there, but I suppose you do need to have someone like Verne that can just have like an amazing race and bring home 10 points in one race. But in a Red Bull, you want to have someone that's more consistent because the car's going to be nearer the front of the field. So I don't, you know, people are going to say, oh, we're going to expect him to be up there with Vettel straight away. I mean, don't expect him to be beating, whoa, okay, I don't know why I did that, but okay, that flew me up into the gravel. Anyway, so that's that was interesting. That sort of just completely amazed me there. Like, what is happening? So what was I talking about? Yeah, don't expect him to be like on Vettel's pace straight away. I mean, I'd say about mid-season, if he isn't getting podiums consistently and the car's competitive and Vettel's winning, for example, you know, you'd have to second doubt him then. But at the moment, I think he's doing, you know, in recent years in HRT and obviously in Toro Rosso, he's been doing a sterling job. He has outperformed Verne most of the time. You can see the gap there to Raikkonen. It came down by about 4 seconds on that lap after my stupid mistake. So yeah, expectations of Ricciardo, I expect him to do a fine job. I reckon he'll be up the front if the car's competitive. If it's not competitive, I still expect him to be in the points. I mean, he was in the points, you know, a lot of the tail end of last year, or this year I should say, in the Toro Rosso, so I'd expect him to be in the points most occasions, even if the car wasn't too good. Whether he'll keep up with Vettel, I don't really know. So I don't think in the first half of the season you should really expect much from Ricciardo. I mean, you can always say, oh yeah, he's been driving Formula 1 cars for the last 3 years now, surely it'd be perfectly fine, but you know, it's a lot of things. Just the way the team work will be a slightly different to how Toro Rosso work. You know, obviously the speed, it's going to have a bit more grip than the Toro Rosso has, and overall it's going to be a bit more of a learning curve. 2014 I think, but 2015, if they retain him, which I really hope they do, I reckon we'll see Ricciardo going for victories. But I do guess that Ricciardo will be going for victories next year. I don't really see a reason why he wouldn't be going for victories. He, you know, has performed well in Junior Formula and in this Formula, so yeah, so hit my hand on my desk there. I was moving my phone out of the way, so I think it might have been making a little bit of a sort of interference noise. Hopefully not, but it might have been, so I'm sorry about that if it has been. But anyway, so next question he comes in from Lewis, and he says, what is your thoughts of the return of the Austrian Grand Prix, obviously known now known, what am I trying to say here, but known now as the Red Bull Ring. It's going to be really fun. I really like that track. I mean, I've watched the DTM round there. You know, other things that are raced around there, like Formula 3. I think Formula 3 raced around there. But, you know, stuff that's raced around there, it's always been good fun watching that. Red Bull Ring is a really, really nice track. And obviously has, obviously, sort of, I don't know how to say this correctly, but has owned the Australian Grand Prix before. They obviously had some really good racing around there in the past. Some bizarre accidents with, oh, not accidents I suppose, but you know, the incidents between Schumacher, Barrichello having to let Schumacher through, all that sort of stuff. And I think turn 1 is going to be causing a couple of accidents for sure. And well, that's going to be interesting to look forward to. I really am looking forward to the Austrian Grand Prix. I keep wanting to say the Australian Grand Prix, but the Austrian Grand Prix is looking like a good race. I expect it to be you know, a crowd pleaser. I think it will be a very exciting one. But I suppose we've got to see how the cars perform and just how everything happens. So, you know, we pulled out a nice old lead here. Hamilton is quite far back. Raikkonen's in third there. We've got a retiree already. I'll check when we get around this corner. Don't want to do it in the middle of a corner. So let's have a quick look here. Go down to the bottom. Who's retired? Vettel? What? Vettel's retired? Okay. Well, that's one of our key competitors lost from this race then. Sebastian Vettel. He's out. I didn't really expect that, to be perfectly honest. But Sebastian Vettel out. But yeah, looking forward to the Austrian Grand Prix, as I just said. It is a really interesting course. It's one of the ones that you don't really see in modern day. Sort of new tracks. I know it's not a new track, but sort of a new addition to the calendar, if you will. If you look at the new additions to the calendar over the last couple of years of Formula 1, and there have always been these really new Tilke design tracks that most people don't like. Like, for example, Korea isn't a very good track. And you know, India's alright. It's alright, but it's not anything special. So yeah, that's sort of, you know, it's good to see a sort of a modern, that's what I'm trying to say. It's nice to see a classic track on the modern day calendar. That's what I was trying to say there. So yeah, looking forward to that. It should be a good fun race, and I'm looking forward to it. Hopefully it's a crowd pleaser, as I just said. Next question comes in from Alfie saying, risk of only having 5 teams in the future. I think, or was it 6 teams? I only had a quick glance at my piece of paper I've got beside me here. What was it? 5 teams, yeah, 5 teams. Risk of only having 5 teams in the future. I guess of Formula 1 he means. And I haven't actually heard this rumour. I don't know whether it's a rumour or not, but yeah, there really is sort of a rumour of 5 teams being in Formula 1 in, say, a couple of years. That's going to really suck, because, you know, it's nice to have 11, 12 teams on the grid. And I think it was disappointing seeing HRT go, just because it's someone else on the grid. And it's giving a couple of people an opportunity just to race a Formula 1 car in their life. Well, I know it was only Cartagena and De La Rosa which had already driven Formula 1 cars before, but you know what I mean. It's giving people opportunities to drive Formula 1 cars. I mean, yes, you could say they're all pay drivers that have that seat, but, you know, I think it's just nice to have an extra team in the sport always. So, you know, I think it was disappointing seeing HRT go. If we saw even more teams go, well, I guess the 5 teams that would stay, you know, I would say even Lotus might be one of the people that went. So, you know, people would say Ferrari, Mercedes, Red Bull, McLaren, and then, I don't know, what would the other team be? Maybe Sauber? Sauber or Williams, I'd say. If you know, if you'd had to predict 5 teams that would stay, I think it would be that. I mean, personally, I think if cost cutting got out of control, I think Williams probably would stay. But I think they would be at the back of the grid. I think actually I have heard something about this on the. I don't know whether you got this, Alfie, from the F1 Journalist Special on Sky, but they talked about something like this, which was the fact that cost cutting doesn't get controlled. We'll see more and more teams leaving, and then obviously the team at the back of the grid always going to leave. It's like, what's the point of me staying? You know, that's what they're going to be thinking. So, you know, if you're thinking about it like that point of view, I think it's going to be quite scary, because we might end up with, yeah, as you say, 4 teams in Formula 1 if they're allowed to just, you know, spend as much as they want. And, you know, technically I suppose they are still spending what they want, but, you know, I suppose it is controlled a little bit. But yeah, it would really suck if there's only 5 cars racing, 10 cars I suppose racing around the track. You know, then I suppose you might go to like 3 or 4 car teams that are just, you know, it just spirals out of control about a really bad Formula 1 that nobody wants to watch. I mean, who wants to watch 4 Red Bulls? This is just an example. I think, who would want to watch 4 Red Bulls one of them's going to be winning every single race. Let's be honest here. You know, if it's like 2013, they're going to be winning every single race. They're going to be looking at the podium every single race. Yeah, it would really suck if there was only 5 teams in the sport, and I really hope it doesn't happen. But, you know, these things do happen in Formula 1. Cost cutting just gets out of control, and, you know, these things may happen. Who knows? Charles Peaks pitted. I messed up that couple of corners there. Peaks being a nice gentleman driver, let me through. I messed it up though, trying to go a bit too deep through that corner. Tyres actually holding up really well. 11 old seconds to Button. How's Button got up into second position? I don't even know. McLaren do seem quite OP in this game. I don't like using OP as a word, but you know what I mean. Let's see if we can lap any more cars. Actually, I suppose we'll Peak will unlap himself next lap, because I'll come into the pits on lap 15. So who knows? Button might even lead this race. I don't know whether Button started on the hard tyres or something. I don't really know, but yeah, we've got a nice lead here. It's going to be interesting because the rain, I think, is coming at some point in this race. So it's going to be one hell of a race. So far, been a good one. I'll move on to the next questions after my pit stop here. I don't want to sort of start a question and then sort of get sidetracked through the pit stop, just because obviously I want to try and answer your questions in best, as you know, obviously you guys spent the time tweeting them or writing the Facebook status to me. So, you know, we actually hit 500 likes on my Facebook fan page the other day, guys, so big thank you for that. That's really, really appreciative, and you know, it's always nice to have a landmark like that. No, we've messed up that corner a couple of laps in a row now. But I'm surprised. You know, this is about as long as a career mode video, and I don't feel like, you know, normally I get a bit bored with, you know, coming the end of the race when I did the live commentaries. Obviously I haven't done live commentary in a couple of races now, but yeah, I find it quite exciting doing 100% races. Maybe it's just the thrill of completing a 100% race. I mean, that's always a lot of fun doing 100% races. I've only done a couple in the past, one on F1 2012. I think I might have done one on one of the earlier games, like F1 Career Challenge, but yeah, my tyres held up quite well here. It's quite interesting actually. Button is closing in on us, however, so maybe the tyres are going a bit off. So we're coming into the pit lane here. The front left is really worn up there. Let's just save a little bit of fuel coming into the pit lane here. And I've got my drink beside me, because I knew I was going to get thirsty during this race. So if I ever pause it during this race again, guys, you know why. It's just to quickly grab a drink. I don't want to you know, run out of breath, if you know what I mean. Grosjean has peeled out the pit. Well, I suppose he hasn't pitted yet, but he's came out in the lead. Now we're going to dive across the track there. Right, prime tyres now. We can push a little bit harder on them. Obviously, because they're the harder tyres, so that means they can take a bit more aggressive driving. And if you watch my career modes, you'll know my driving is quite aggressive. But yeah, I'm going to have to make it to the end with only one more stop. So, ooh, light rain in 15 minutes. It's going to be going on about halfway through my stint. This is going to be exciting. Who's going to flinch first and come into the pits? It's going to be interesting to see what time the AI come in on the wet weather, because I normally dive in a bit early and it always ends up going badly for me. So yeah, I don't know, it's going to be hard because obviously they're so far behind me now about who flinches first, and I don't know whether Hamilton's pitted or not. He has pitted, so he's actually gained quite a bit of time there. Hamilton gained a couple of old seconds. Let's go to the parabolic here. I don't want to push it too much through this first lap, because obviously I know the tyres are cold, and as Grosjean dives into pit lane. So let's finish off these Facebook questions with one last question from Sergio saying, what do you think of Carlos Sainz Jr.? So, if you don't know who Carlos Sainz Jr. is, he is obviously the son of Carlos Sainz, He has been racing in GP3 this year. I think he finished about 11th in the standings. It's 11th or 9th. I think it was sort of 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th, somewhere around there in the standings. So a pretty unsuccessful year for Carlos Sainz Jr. I think he only got like 1 or 2 podiums. He then went over to World Series by Renault, did a couple of races at the end of the year, largely uneventful as well. Due to problems with the car, mostly, is why he didn't do well at the end of the season there. But yeah, I like Carlos Sainz Jr. because I think he's a really nice guy. But I don't know how to say this without being too rude, but some of the, sort of the accidents he got involved in with this year were a little bit silly. The one with Patrick Niederhauser. I'm talking about GP3 here, by the way, just to let you know. He got involved with that accident with Niederhauser. It was a little bit silly. Also, the accident with who was it? Oh, I can't remember. Lewis Williamson, I think, in Silverstone, where he sort of edged him off the track and sort of wiped him out. A little bit silly, and it's just unfortunate because he's actually a really, really fast race car driver. But I think he's got involved in some accidents that really he shouldn't have done. And you can say the same about quite a lot of people in GP2 and GP3. They're very fast drivers, but they've just got caught up in so many accidents, which obviously were their fault mostly. Bianchi, a fellow Ferrari driver, letting me through nicely there. Looks like Charles Peak, I think this is, or maybe it's Van der Gaard. It's Charles Peak. Get past him. Slot through there, nice and, well, nearly nice and perfect, but slight bit wrong. Hamilton's 9.2 seconds back. Looks like they do gain a little bit through the pit stop stages. You gain about 3 odd seconds. No. Just had enough breakthrough there. Nearly ran it into the gravel, and that would have been really bad. But to wrap up talking about Carlos Sainz Jr., I think he will be in Formula 1 soon. I reckon. I honestly thought he was going to throw me up in the air again there. But I honestly think he will be in Formula 1. I reckon they'll put him a couple of years in Formula Renault 3.5. And then I think by the time he's about 22, 23, they'll probably switch him up to the Toro Rosso seat. And hopefully by that time he's learned his racecraft a little bit. I mean, I can't say anything about these drivers because obviously I've never driven a race car or a competitive car. So I can't ever, I can't judge these people. But it's just sort of an opinion. I don't want to bring it across in the wrong way because obviously I highly respect everyone that's racing, but hopefully by that time he sort of mastered his racing, yeah, I suppose racing is the right word there. Hopefully he's mastered his racing, and hopefully he can come up to Formula 1 and do well, because I think he can do well. So that's pretty much it talking about Carlos Sainz. And slow down, yeah. No, we've gone into the gravel. Oh my, I'm driving so badly this stint. So that was all my Facebook questions. I think I probably have, by the time I'm recording this right now, I probably got a couple more than I got, just because I recorded, I asked questions like literally a couple of minutes beforehand. So people are probably still asking questions. So I'm sorry if I didn't answer your question here, but leave it in the comments and I'll try and reply to it as a comment as well. So actually, I'm going to take another quick drink here because I want to keep exciting. I don't think I'm going to be very exciting if I can't talk. Alright, that's good. Let's go. 7.5 seconds to Hamilton. Lost quite a bit through that sector, as I said. Driving quite badly. So, through Parabolica for the 19th time. Let's see what the gap is as we come across the line. Hamilton's going to be running into those back markers quite shortly there. And he might lose a bit of time through them. A pretty bad lap there in comparison to my other ones, but not awful. So, next question comes in from Nathan on Twitter saying, dream PC, or what is your dream PC? Well, actually, he just said your dream PC, so I'm not really too sure what he means, but I guess he wants me to talk about what I would like in a PC. Pretty much, I just want my PC to be able to render videos fast. I mean, obviously I want to be able to play games in good resolution or everything, but I just really like a PC that renders really fast, and I really want to upload 2 videos a day on my main channel. I know this is already going off topic to your question, Nathan, but I want to upload 2 videos a day on my main channel, but I'm not sure it'd work out. I don't really want to, you know, put up too many videos. I think if this YouTube thing does go to the next level, maybe I might start uploading 2 videos a day. But we'll see. We'll just see what happens. I'll take it day by day, week by week, month by month. We'll see what happens. I mean, I really hope that my YouTube channel keeps growing. I mean, who doesn't? So yeah, pretty much my PC. I like it to be able to play games like R-Factor 2 or, you know, iRacing, Assetto Corsa, stuff like that. I like it to be able to run that in full Fast Love the Race. I like to be able to run that in like max settings and be able to record at 60 FPS with fraps, for example. I know that you're going to be spending like £4,000 or £5,000 to get, you know, a computer like that. So, you know, obviously I'd like a really good computer, but sometimes you can't afford those sort of things. So I hope sometime in my life I can afford a good computer like that. I mean, the one I've got is quite good, but I messed that one up. But yeah, at the moment my videos, for example, this video is probably going to take like 5 hours to render up, so it's going to be very fun to render, I'll tell you that. I'm not going to literally have to do anything whilst it renders. Yeah, that's going to be fun. And upload time's going to be even worse. It'll be like 11-12 hours, I'm sure, to upload this. So hopefully you enjoy it. Hopefully you appreciate this video. I keep sort of cutting that corner a little bit there. I don't want to be doing that. I sort of just have been doing it instinctively. I don't really want to, but please don't say Chilton's just like going to stop. No, at least he kept going there. So Chilton's there in 19th. That means 18th Van der Gaard. Long way up the road here. I think Button's got ahead of Hamilton there. So Button, oh, they've dropped back a lot. I don't know what's happening there, but Rosberg's there in 4th position as well to wrap up a good result for Mercedes if that happens. But yeah, so we went from the fastest lap to a pretty slow lap time there. 14 seconds now separate me to Button, so a bad couple of laps there from Hamilton. But I think he said rain was happening, and that was about 10 minutes ago, I think. So we're going to be seeing rain in the next 5-6 minutes, I think. It's going to be fun. Slot it through there. Lovely. But yeah, hopefully that to sort of discuss my PC. I can't really talk about specs because I don't really know that sort of stuff about PC. I would actually like to know that sort of stuff, but at the moment I only really care about having a PC that can do stuff fast. But obviously I don't really have that at the moment. But you know, it's a decent enough PC just about to do all my YouTube stuff currently, and the amount of videos I upload, you know, around probably about 15 a week across my various channels. Actually, probably more like 20 a week. That makes me sound really sad. But you know what I'm saying. Pretty much that. Yeah, I don't know how to sort of end this part of the questions. So let's just move on to the next question. And obviously this one's from Twitter once again from Kenneth, and I think this was part of his question talking about predictions for next year. And Kenneth saying, do you think that Vettel's going to win the World Championship next year? As I said, discussed earlier on, I don't think it's going to be very easy for him to do it, but you know, if he does, well done to him, because next year it's going to be, I think, even tougher to win the championship. 5 minutes to rain, as he just said on the radio there. So next year is going to be the toughest championship for Vettel. If he wins it, congrats to him. He's 5 in a row, and you know, he's done a great job. And I've completely misjudged the braking there. There's a fly flying around in my room. No, I thought it was going to like fly into my mouth, and you know, that sort of stuff is annoying whilst you're doing a commentary, especially when you're this far into a commentary, 40 odd minutes into the video. You don't want the fly messing up your video. So yeah, so Vettel, if he does win it, it's going to be a very good championship from him. If he doesn't win it, well, he's had 4 championships in a row, and you know he's deserved them. So, well, in my opinion, he's deserved them. So, we'll see what happens. It's going to be fun to see next year, as I said. It's not really a very long question, so I don't think he's going to win it. But if he does, as I say, congratulations to him. So that's probably the best way to wrap up that answer. As I think this is the halfway point in. No, it's not the halfway point of the race. And what I'm talking about. Halfway point is lap 27. Yeah, halfway. We're just about 27 because it's a odd number of laps. You'd have to say 27. Cross there. I don't even know. We might even look. Grosjean's now up into 3rd, so it's quite a nice battle between them lot. But I don't want to be pitting simply because I know that the fact that it's going to be raining shortly, so you know I'm not going to be doing anything stupid here. Fastest first sector there. 2 or so cars up the road here. Might be catching those before it starts raining. Not too sure. You can just see them on your mini map, just about. Probably better to see it when we go through the parabolica. I think we're around 4, 5, 6 seconds off the back of them. Actually, probably a bit more than that. Actually, I don't know. But we're not that far off the back of them. Okay, it's more than 4 or 5 seconds. Probably around 8, 9 seconds to them guys in front. But there's 2 or so people, 2, 3 people I think, squabbling away. I think they might be going through the parabolica just now. But you'll see on the right hand side of the mini-map, you'll see 2 cars go past there. They're the 2 people that we're probably coming up to the back of shortly. I think. Yep, I can see the rain. The rain has started, guys. Just like the race about a year ago now, actually. The F1 2012 race. That was in the rainy conditions of about halfway. Interestingly, it's not raining down this part of the track. .2 seconds to Hamilton. 1 second faster than Hamilton on that lap, but there's the rain. It's back, so it's on different parts of the track. This rain, whether it will just go away, I don't know. The rain might come and go quite fast. It might stay around for a while. We'll see, won't we? We'll definitely see here. Oops, sort of cut that corner a little bit there. But, whoa, Hamilton has now lost the position to Grosjean. They're all squabbling about there. I'm starting to think that maybe I should have done this on the next difficulty up. But I've never raced on Legend on this game, just because I know I'm not going to do very well. Who knows, maybe we could do like a Legend in a Red Bull. Maybe that would be the car to do it in, obviously, because that Red Bull's probably about 0.8 of a second faster than this Ferrari on the game. Maybe the Mercedes, but it's quite bad on its tyre wear. So, yeah. I think there's a car in a pit. Yeah, there is. So we're going to be going and lapping another car there as he comes out the pits. It's Toro Rosso, that one. Maybe he started on the primes. So we got a Caterham and a Williams in front. Bottas is normally the car that is the worst out of like the other cars. Let's just say that. So now what am I trying to say here? Bottas is normally the lowest position car of all of the sort of the faster ending cars. I don't know why, but he is. So Grosjean's there in second and Button's up to third. We'll get on to another question in a second here. I don't know why I've been rambling on about nothing, but this last lap we haven't actually gained that much time on these 2 guys. Much nicer through there. He was a bit cursed to boost us out the corner a bit. It is starting to rain halfway through this race. Starting to rain. Still got 8 laps to our scheduled pit stop. It wouldn't be good to have the rain now, but Button's lost 10 seconds. I wonder. Let's just have a quick pause here and have a look to see if anyone's gone on to the Inters. No, nobody's on to the Inters yet. Vandergaard's on the options. Actually, it's Maldonado. Bottas is up there in 9th position. What's he? He's doing very well. So it's actually Maldonado in front of us. That's doing a bad job in this race. Be lapping him, and I think this is about halfway point in this race actually. So 44 minutes. So what's that going to end up being about? 1 hour 30, I think. So hopefully this is going to be a fun race. So Raikkonen's now up to third. It's all switching about behind, but not switching about for me. I've still got a nice buffer over Grosjean. But we have really caught up to these guys now. Actually, depends how heavy this rain comes down, but if these guys peel into the pit lane, it'd be quite a good, judge. So obviously this condition I would not pull into the pits, but this technically on this game does class as rain, so this could be the 40% chance of rain. This could just be it, and it might just die away like straight away. Who knows? But it looks like Van der Garde's right on the back of Maldonado here, and he could be looking for a manoeuvre actually. Now it's a bit worse around this part of the track there. Under the trees, the track is a little bit wetter than the rest of it. So 18.7 to Grosjean, but let's get on to the next question. I said I'm going to be getting on to the next question for the last couple of laps, but as we go through here, let's read it out, just because I don't want to be doing it whilst going through corners. So we're now in a straight line, so let's do this. Tom, he actually asked me 2 questions here. First one, saying, do you think that Lotus took Maldonado for money? Right. I looked into this a lot, because I looked into this a while ago to sort of figure out why they actually picked Maldonado. So I'm going to talk about this. Hopefully it doesn't offend anyone, because I realise a lot of people don't like Maldonado, and I might say something that might annoy people here, but let's just see. Oh, okay, we'll just gone through there. But talking about Maldonado, there he is. Maldonado. Let's just talk about his racing history at first. GP2 champion, race winner for Williams, involved in quite a lot of accidents last year, 2012, and overall fast driver, not a lot of patience, I'd say. So that, describing Maldonado up in a couple of words, that would be it. So first off, Lotus wanted to take Hulkenberg. They even said they wanted to take Hulkenberg, but they couldn't, because they needed, I think these are the right numbers, they needed 40 million euros, I think. No, let's just say dollars. I think it's dollars. And they needed $40 million, otherwise they weren't going to be able to compete at the front of the field. And they ended up picking Maldonado. He brings $30 million in sponsorship, so that's a large part of the financial things done. And the 40 million, what you're thinking about, like, surely they had that before, but the 40 million was the investment that this Quantum Motors that never really actually existed. That's what they said they were going to bring to the table, but they didn't. So they picked Maldonado, who brought the majority of that. Now, that extra 10 million, you say, where is that going to come from? Well, I'm sure they can, find that from somewhere. Maybe the Grosjean can get some more sponsors or something, but they're definitely going to get that sponsorship. They're going to get that rest of that money. Obviously they need to pay off Kimi and Grosjean as well, and they're just at the moment they're looked at in quite a bad light in Formula 1, and not paying Kimi or Grosjean for the last couple of years. Actually, I think it was, they haven't paid Kimi or Grosjean for the last 2 years. That's what I've heard. It might be wrong, but that's what I've heard. Definitely not 2013. So they're looked at in quite a bad light because of that. Maldonado, he gets paid, I think, from his sponsors as well. So Maldonado's obviously not moving there to get paid money or whatever. Kimi Raikkonen, whether you're a fan of him or not, he did sort of move to Ferrari to make sure that he got paid. Obviously he wanted to be in a competitive car as well, but obviously he wanted to get paid. I think that was a big attraction for him, because he knows Ferrari are the biggest name in the sport, and they always pay their drivers. So he knows that, so he's in a pretty safe bet to get his paycheck at the end of the year. So I was supposed to be talking about Maldonado and Lotus, wasn't I? So I reckon I'll probably get a lot of people hating on me for this, but I think it was the right choice for Lotus. I mean, you can say that Hulkenberg would have made up for the car performance, but the car performance would have probably been about, I'd say, to the delta of about 1.5 seconds slower. I would say that if Lotus didn't have this extra 40 million, I would say that they'd be squabbling around the back with like, I don't know, probably with the Toro Rossos and the Williams. I would seriously say that they would be competed with them, not for race wins, if they didn't have that money. So, you know, it's personal opinion. I think it is the right choice because Lotus need money, Maldonado has money, sorry, and I think it probably was the right choice for them. I mean, obviously pretty much everyone wants to see Hulkenberg in that seat. I mean, including myself, I wanted to see Hulkenberg in that seat, but you know, Hulkenberg doesn't bring like any sponsors. I don't think he even brings £1 million worth of sponsorship. So, you know, Maldonado brings 3/4 of the sponsorship money that they needed, and Hulkenberg brings like maybe 1/100th of what they needed. You know, I think he's got a couple of sponsors, but nothing really like what they really needed. So, personal opinion, you can think what you want, but I'd rather, I mean, it sounds kind of rude, but I'd rather that Lotus were saved and hundreds of jobs were saved instead of Hulkenberg getting a good seat for 1 year. And who knows, it might not even be a good seat. I don't really know. Maybe even the Force India might be a better car than Lotus next year. A lot of people don't even sort of realise that it might actually be a better car because next year's regulations can really throw up a change, can't they? So I think Lotus did do it for money, but they also know that Maldonado is a very fast driver. They know he can win a GP2 championship. They know he can win a Formula 1 race. I mean, Hulkenberg hasn't won a Formula 1 race. Neither has what am I trying to say? Neither has Grosjean. So, you know, he has. I think he's proved that he deserved the seat, but they really need to make sure that they control him and they sort of don't let him go crazy like Williams did in 2012 and just let him do whatever he wants, which is normally crash into a lot of people in 2012. And no disrespect to Maldonado, because I do realise he's a very fast driver, and so yeah, I suppose it was the right choice at the end of the day. So you can talk about that in the comment section. I think I've already talked about it many a time, but for the future of let's check something a second. No. Yeah, but for the future of Lotus, I think it was the right decision. So got 2 Force Indies in front of us now. Now these conditions are getting a little bit. I'm thinking maybe on our pit lap here we could actually go to Inters, but I'm going to wait for probably one of them to pit first, because I've got 25 seconds, so I'm not going to lose 25 seconds in one lap, most likely. Right, so hopefully that answers your question. I'm sorry if it didn't, but I suppose at the end of the day you'd say yes, they did do it for the money. And another question from Tom saying, where do you think that Di Resta will end up? So I realise there are a lot of Di Resta fans out there. I realise a lot of Scotland support Di Resta, if they're Formula 1 fans, that is, because he, you know, he's proved he's a fabulous racing driver. Maybe fabulous isn't the right word. That sounds a bit stupid, to be honest. He's proved that he is a fast driver. He can win the DTM championship. He can prove he can battle for podiums in Formula 1. Sorry, I sneezed in the middle of a commentary. You should never do that, but I just did because, well, I don't know why. He can he proved that he can win the DTM. Oh, so he'll move it, and the rest is in front of him as well. Thank you. But yeah, he's proved he can win DTM. He proved he can sort of. I suppose he can. You know, he didn't really battle for a podium, but he was in a podium position from a lot of the race. I'm talking about Bahrain 2013, by the way, if you're wondering. That's his closest ever finish to a podium. Don't speed up. No, Di Resta, you're a back marker. Whoa, he's drove it into the gravel. Lots of. I think I pressured him into that. I think I did. I've been quite mean to him there. I'm sort of like, come on, you can do it. Oh, these really are thinking about wet conditions here. We're pulling out on Grosjean. Ooh, do we risk it for a biscuit? I'm not sure. There isn't any spray coming. There's not. Oh, there's a little bit. Oh, it's going to be. You know, I'm not going to pit when the AI don't. So, especially when this rain might just subside. But I'm sorry, Tom. Hopefully I answered your question. No, I didn't answer your question. Sorry. I didn't finish it off. Where do I think he will end up? It's going to be tough because I think that De Resta really deserves to stay in Formula 1. I mean, I'm quite critical of De Resta, just because of the British media saying that he is amazing and you know, sort of overhyping him a little bit. I really wish that the British media didn't overhype everything, because now De Resta's been sort of put in a bad light. Because obviously a lot of oh no, I'm sliding all over the place. But a lot of the F1 teams are sort of based in Britain, so they see all the British news reports and everything. De Resta's always sort of a bit overhyped and everything, and you know, he's a good driver. He deserves to stay in Formula 1. But I think it's due to the fact of him being a bit overhyped by the press that he sort of looks worse than people say than he actually is. If that makes any sense. People say that he's an amazing driver and he doesn't really pull out amazing results. So, oh, what do we do here? Has anyone gone on to Inters? No. I guess I go on to the Primes again then. It's just on the knife edge of changing decision, but where will the rest? Yeah, okay. I'm sorry that I haven't answered your question, Tom. I just keep talking about a load of rubbish in the middle of I just like to keep talking to myself. So, tyres, Prime. So yeah, to finish off your question, I think you'll probably end up in DTM. I really sort of hoped that he wouldn't. I'd rather he stayed in F1 with the back teams and maybe help develop them a little bit. Maybe, I don't know, maybe Caterham. They need a developed lineup. Oh damn it! This really is wet conditions, isn't it? Oh, is it? I don't know. I'm sort of a bit worried here. Damn it. They just put on the intermediate tyres, didn't they? Grosjean did. Oh no, this is going to be... luckily we've got a buffer. You know, I can drive in these conditions, that's the thing, but whether I can drive in them for much longer, I don't know. Yeah, they're all going on to intermediates. It's time to go to intermediates, guys. That was a stupid call from me. I should have gone on to them there. It'd have been a much bigger lead, but it really brings the race back to a nice conclusion here. Oh no, it really was wet conditions. Damn it, that's a stupid call from me. Just in that one lap, it went from being dry to definitely into conditions. Yeah, I can see everyone is just peeling into the pit lane. And I just wasted a good 20 odd seconds here. And that puts not Maldonado, that puts Grosjean back into the fight. Damn it. Frustrating times. I think we should still get out in front of him, but you know, it's just unfortunate to lose all that time. We had such a nice lead built up there. Yeah, definitely Inters. It might even be nearing wet conditions here. DRS is disabled. No, no, no. Oh, luckily we didn't just drive it into the gravel there. So, right, so this gap's going to be down to about 12 seconds, I'd say now. Alright, so time to get back to the questions. I know we've got 3 or 4 left, so I think that's actually going to be like perfect. We're probably going to get through them all like perfect time. So thank you for everyone that sent in your questions. If I ever do one of these in the future or any more, always send in your questions beforehand if I talk about it, because I definitely will need them. because I can't talk for good an hour and a half without good subjects to talk about. But there you go, the gap's down to 12 seconds to me and Grosjean. So next question comes in from Lewis, and he says, how do you think the cars will look next season? Well, that's going to be, it's going to be pretty interesting to see whoever the first team is to pull out their 2014 design, because it really might look a lot different to what we're seeing this year. I mean, a lot of people saying that they've got like these, the nose have got like a, I don't know, like an extra part on the front of them, which makes them look really stupid. And a lot of people saying that that is going to be what the cars look like. They got that, I don't know how to describe it, but for example, the nose just keeps on going and nothing else does. I'd like to say like the 2010 Sauber. I think it's 2010 Sauber. Like that, or the nose just keeps going on forever, but it sort of has to go to the ground a little bit more. So I think that's what it's going to look like. It's really weird. What the pictures I've seen, really weird. Oh, Chilton, you're a lucky boy. You are a lucky son. I know you just completely took Chilton out. Right, Tio, let's build this gap up again. We've got some fast fuel mixture, so let's use it. So yeah, the car's going to look quite weird, I think, but I don't think that, a lot of people always complain about the looks of the cars, but why did I drive across there, I don't know. But I don't really care about the looks of the car. I mean, obviously, if the car looks nicer, it's always going to get like, more people wanting to get like a poster of it or something, but it doesn't really matter at the end of the day. But I suppose obviously some people like nice looking cars and stuff like that, so we'll see what happens. I assume that some people will take different approaches to others, but it should be fun. But look at that lap time there, only 1.5 seconds of our fastest lap whilst we're in Inter's conditions. So yeah, that's quite interesting here. We're not actually driving that much slower in these conditions than we were in the dry conditions. So Perez is in 4th. What? This race has confused me so much. Once it was Hamilton in 2nd, then it was Raikkonen, now it's Grosjean. Now, Raikkonen and Hamilton aren't even in the top 5, I don't think. It confuses me, it really does confuse me. But yeah, the cars next season, I always do this. I always go on a random rant and then finish off my question, for example. But yeah, the cars next season will probably look quite different, but I don't think it should really matter too much in terms of the racing. It should still be quite good racing and enjoyable to watch. Next question comes in from Guitarist, and I think he said, I only had a quick glance down at my paper there, but yeah, he had a question that was quite interesting to me, because he said, what do you think about Van der Garde? Now, a lot of people I don't think a lot of people appreciate what Van der Garde has really done this year. Van der Garde has really done quite well this year. Yeah, I think he was the best qualifier in Spa of the new teams by a long way. He was P2 in qualifying 1. Like, when was the last time a Caterham was P2 in a session, or top 5? I don't even think they were even a top 10. But these mixed up grids always happen because wet conditions, and Van der Garde just completely confused everyone. He went out there on the dry tyres, I think, when it was a drying track. He got P2 in a Caterham. I'm like, wow, that's pretty impressive. Van der Garde really is the real deal. And Dutch drivers in the past haven't generally been that fast, but in recent years we got Robert Freins there, we got Van der Garde there. I honestly think Van der Garde and Freins are both very good drivers, and I hope we see both of them in staying in Formula 1, or in Freins' case, I hope we see him in Formula 1 altogether, because obviously he was kicked from the Sauber program for Sorokin with that dollar. So you know what I mean. I hope we see these Dutch drivers stay in the sport, because they're both very fast. But I do think that they had the sponsorship money, or at least Van der Garde does. Freins, I don't think so. I don't think Franz has any responses really. I think Franz has got here on, Franz has got to where he is on only talent. Blimey, that lap time is nearly as fast as my fastest lap of the race. I suppose I am running a fast fuel mixture there, which is going to be helping me at least a couple of tenths. But we're coming up against two slow cars. Is that Jenson Button? I think this is Jenson Button, who is in second place for a lot of this race. Please don't say it's Jenson Button, because a lot of British fans will not be liking the fact that he's lost nearly a lap to me in this race. After being P2 for a lot of it. I have a feeling it is... Oh no, I'm sliding out all over the place. Sorry about this. It is Jenson Button in the unlucky 13th. And he, yeah, he's lost a lap to me now. He's even behind the Williams of Bottas, I think this is. Bottas having a cracker of a race. We're actually pulling this gap back out to where it was to Grosjean. He doesn't seem to be very confident in these conditions in comparison to me. We seem to be pulling out quite a nice old gap here. I reckon this is Bottas. Yes, it is 12th position. I mean, even if we had an accident, I reckon we could still win this race. But it's really if a safety car or something happens. But safety cars don't ever come out in this game for me. I don't know why, but they don't. They never do. So don't expect a safety car for this race because it's not going to happen. I just love driving race cars in any game. I just love driving race cars. I want to be a race car driver, as any kid does, but whether that's ever going to be a reality, I don't think so. But I'm going to always believe that I can. I'm going to always try my best to try and race some sort of cars in my life, or go-karts, and I really hope that at some point I can. But we'll just see what happens. What the future may lie. Maybe some opportunities might happen. We'll see what happens. But if anything ever does happen whilst I'm still here on YouTube, I'll let you guys know. But right, so I'm sorry about getting through these questions really slowly, but 15 minutes. That's going to be... We're going to have to go back to another set of tyres, I think. We're going to have to go back onto the dry tyres at the end of this race. We'll see what happens though. So we've got a couple of questions left, both from Ben on... No, sorry, it's only one question, but it's just an extremely long question. So let me just get around this final corner and I'll read it out, because I don't want to be looking down at my piece of paper too long, because I know I'll crash. So Ben had a question from Twitter. So what do you think about next year's rule changes? You know, like the double points, driver numbers, etc., etc. So this is my last question, so I better talk about it quite well. But so next year's rules, I actually think next year's rules are some of the most innovative rules in quite a long time. Apart from double points in the last race, which I think is absolutely absurd, and I think it should be taken off. Whether it will or not, I don't think so. I think Bernie Eccleston's saying that he wants to see even more races that are double points. It really sort of means, I don't know. I think Formula 1 in many ways is going forward, but it's also coming back at the same rate. So we're sort of just staying still, if not going backwards, because of some of these new rules. Like double points, who even thought of that idea? It's such a stupid rule. I mean, I think a better idea, instead of doing double points, would be doing 2 races. I mean, do something like they do in GP2. If you really want to get like double the points, have a driver that ends up on like 700 points at the end of the season. I don't know. I don't even know personally why they. I'd rather. I suppose I wouldn't rather stay. I'd rather have 10 cars scoring, but I don't think 25 should be the winners. I think it should be more like 20 for the winner, 17 for second, something like that. Because I think nowadays winning is, you know, you could luck into one win and that could eventually put you like top of the championship. And I don't know, but double points is a stupid idea in my opinion. I know a couple of people might disagree, but generally I think a lot of people will agree with that double points is probably one of the stupidest ideas they brought in recent years. You know, I suppose it's a concept that they really want to just keep the championship going for more and more time, but it's not going to work. Believe me, it's just not going to work. people are going to complain. Sebastian Vettel, who was won half the races around Abu Dhabi, don't forget, says it's a stupid idea. So, you know, Sebastian Vettel probably should have won all of the races around Abu Dhabi. Because, you know, the other ones he had accidents or whatever and start from the back of the grid or whatever. You know, he probably would have won every single Abu Dhabi Grand Prix if it wasn't for that sort of stuff. That's a pretty crazy thing there. Wait, how many did he won? He won 2009, 2010. Did he win that? Yeah, he did win 2009, 2010, 2013. Wait, so he's won 3 out of the 5. Yeah. Okay, sorry, I'm a bit confused. He's won over half of them, so he probably should have won all of them. Remember in 2011, dominant car, and 2012 started from the pit lane and finished 3rd. If it started from P2, I think was where he was going to start, he would have probably won that race. So, yeah, double points I think is really stupid. Even the Formula 1 drivers agree. I think there's like 1 or 2 drivers that... Oh no. I think there's 1 or 2 drivers that agree that's a good idea. So, you know, they'll be hoping that that race goes well for them. But yeah, generally it's seen as a bad idea. But numbers, that's a cool idea. I do like that. I think it's a bit weird. You know, it's going to be weird seeing, you know, teammates being, for example, 6 and 77, for example. But I think it's going to be good. It's going to be good for like marketing. It's also going to mean that, for example, if you buy a cap that has a number on the side of it and you support a certain driver that's staying with the team for a long time, you're not going to have to buy a cap every single year because, you know, the drivers aren't going to change numbers because obviously their number stays with them forever, and should be fun. I think Rosberg's going for number 6. I've actually got an Autosport magazine sitting next to me, but I don't really want to sort of read it out and go and everything. But I think Rosberg's going for number 6, which is what his dad, Keke Rosberg, had. Bottas going for 77, I think, because of the you know, TT in his name, 77. Good, good branding from Williams and himself. Who else? I think Alonso's going with 14. I think it's the number. And I think Massa wants to go with 19. Vettel will probably go with 1. I don't know. Maybe he might not. Maybe he might go with the number that he won his first Grand Prix with. I don't know. Be interesting if Vettel actually chooses 1 or not. I assume he will. I mean, Vettel loves the number 1, so I'd assume he'd keep it. But who knows? He might not. I mean, it's a shame that there aren't any number 0s allowed. You know, I think is it Nigel Mansell? I think that used to. No, it wasn't Nigel Mansell. Was it Nigel? I think it might. I can't remember. Somebody on the Williams used to drive with the number 0. I quite like having the number 0, but who knows? We'll see what happens. I wonder if anyone's going to have like the number 99 or something. I don't really know, but you know, it should be fun to see what happens in terms of that. It's just something to add to it. I mean, it's obviously, you know, a lot of people inside F1 are saying that it's just really to sort of sell merchandise, really, than anything. Because before, I think, you know, including myself, I would never buy a race driver's cap, just because I knew the next year they weren't going to driving for the same number, most likely, unless they were world champion. So, you know, they were world champion again. So, wait, did Rosberg? Why is Grosjean 50 seconds back all of a sudden? Oh wait, I think he pitted. I think they pitted for more inters. I think they've pitted for more inters. Should I pit for more inters? I don't even know. Actually, it might be best. I think we should pit in for inters. Tyres. I don't think we'll be able to get to the end on these tyres. It means 7 laps. We probably could, but I don't really want to risk it, to be perfectly honest. I'd rather bring this car home in a solid position. So we're sort of driving all over the place here, but it's been a really good race. I really enjoyed this. It's not been too competitive. The start was quite fun. Nice battles with the rest of them, but yeah, not much since. But at least we got through a lot of topics. I think I've pretty much answered Ben's question. I can't off the top of my head really think about the next year's rule changes. I mean, I sort of discussed them throughout the rest of this video, so I'm sorry if I haven't answered your question, because I've probably got some whilst I'm recording this. Well, no, we don't want to spin it into the wall. So, actually, we're going faster. Do we really want to pit? I don't know. Let's just not pit. Let's just not pit. I don't see any reason, really. I'm going around faster than I had done before, and actually the rain is starting to ease up. The rain is easing up here. Maldonado's 17th. Blimey, he's having a bad race. I can't stop now because I'm distracted by Maldonado. I actually put on 4 flashbacks for this race because I was thinking, you know, if I'm on lap 50 of this race and I pile it into the wall, I'm not gonna forgive myself. That's the right word, am I? So I thought we'll put all the flashbacks on. I haven't actually used any, which I'm pretty happy about. It's been quite a fun race, isn't it? Challenging. It's definitely lasted a long time. Get it sideways there. 51 seconds to Grosjean, who pitted for another time, and it's a bit surprising that they're only in retirement here is Sebastian Vettel. I suppose he was he retired from the 2012 race, if I remember correctly, so maybe it's a thing that Vettel does, just retire for the fun of it. Makes the championship a bit more interesting. So we're coming across the line. I think there'll be 6 laps to go. I think probably not, but I think tyres should be fine. 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53. 6 laps. Wait, yeah, I think so. Please say my maths correct. The back end does slide out quite a bit through there. What brakes am I running? I've been running it in neutral brakes this whole time. I always run it in front brakes. What have I been playing at? I don't even know. So 6 laps to go. That's going to be about... no. Yeah, it's going to stop. Rain's going to stop before the end of this race. So who knows? We might even switch it onto the dries, before, like literally in the last 2 laps. I've lost time to this Marussia through this first couple of seconds. Yeah, look at this. Williams caught right up to the back of me again. That's a poor couple of corners there. Really lost time. Massa's actually closing in on Grosjean here. Who knows, Grosjean might be pipped to second place by Massa right at the end. Could be a 1-2 for Ferrari. But this race is probably going on for another 6, 7, 8 minutes, I'd say. Feels like a lot longer. I really like doing Monza just because I think it's one of the shorter races, but also it's just really fun. It's just one of the tracks that I just enjoy driving. I don't even care if I'm fast or not, I just enjoy driving it. And then also driving in the Ferrari, which is the one I'm driving in career mode, sort of helps, I think. Because obviously I'm used to how it drives and everything. See, braking in front brake wise through turn 1 there, I didn't slide all over the place, so thanks Jill, I just cut you up for good measure. Didn't mean to, but I did. So, we crossed the line, next time by, it's going to be 4 laps to decide this one, but I think it's pretty likely we're going to win it. Massa is really closing in on Grosjean, really is. Wow, this has been a very fun race. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed it. Hopefully you've tuned in all the way, because it's been a really exciting one. Well, for me it's been exciting. Probably not a huge amount from the viewer's perspective, but my first 100% race, and I felt we drove really well. And also talked about quite a lot of stuff along the way, which is good. And hopefully it's been enjoyable. As you know, let me know if you've watched to this point in the video. Please let me know in the comments, because I'd really appreciate it. Because this video is going to be probably the longest video I've ever uploaded, apart from live streams. So, yeah. I wonder if we can get over a minute to Grosjean. He's gone through the first, that's the first sector split he's just gone through. So we're around 30 odd seconds behind him, I'd say. We're not going to catch him to lap him. But we could go over a minute on him, which might be kind of crazy. I think I've been using all my KERS. I might even be forgetting to use my KERS. I don't know if I have. I'm being a bit stupid, but the rain really is easing off here. There was no point in them pitting for more tyres. I don't know why they did it. My tyres have been perfectly fine. Their tyres must have just been destroyed after like 4 laps. I don't know why they pitted in. I don't understand. But they did, so it's just sort of extra time for me. I suppose it makes up for me pitting twice when I didn't need to. Because I did 1 lap, didn't I, on those second set of prime tyres. I did 1 lap on them. And, ooh, crash in sector 3. There's been a crash and here it is. Who is it? I don't recognise what car that is, but he's got no front wing. Are we going to overtake him? I don't know, but he's going to be very slow for a Parabolica, I'll tell you that. It's a McLaren. Is it Sergio Perez? I think it will be. Oh, it's Jenson Button. He didn't lose his front. Who lost his front wing then? Someone lost their front wing. But it wasn't Button because he just had his. What is this massive group of cars doing here? Tell you what, Gutierrez, I haven't passed him yet, have I? I don't think I have. Gutierrez is in 10th, he's doing a good job, isn't he? I think 10th is actually the next car up the road, so that Sauber, I think I just saw a Sauber just in front of me. I might just catch this Sauber before the end of this race. I might also just about take a minute over my first corner cut of the whole race, I think. It obviously was a corner cut, I just like completely dive bombed across the corner. Did I just get 2 corner cuts in a row? I think I might have just got 2 corner cuts in a row. No, we don't want to be using a flashback. It's tempting there. I didn't want to use one, but I didn't use one. What am I trying to say? I don't want to use one, so I didn't. But it was tempting just because I know I lost a couple of seconds there. I don't know why. I'm sort of completely cutting that corner now. I'm sorry, because I don't want to, but it's sort of becoming a bit instinctive, and I don't want it to become instinctive, but it sort of has been. So we're going to be literally, I think the rain pretty much has stopped here. The rain we're seeing on the visor pretty much is the... Oh no, there's a little bit of rain still coming through here. I wonder if we're going to catch these cars. It would have been so far. Couple of laps to go, literally, yes there is. This has been probably one of the best races I've ever driven. Gutierrez has got past Perez. In front of me it's... all the tyres are spinning up quite a bit now. But in front of me it's Gutierrez and Perez has dropped behind Gutierrez. So Gutierrez is doing well. I don't think he's beating his teammate. I think Hulkenberg was in like P6 or P7, but... you know, I'm glad that Gutierrez is in F1 next year. I'm going to probably support him. I got all of his merchandise. I sort of supported him a little bit this year, I should say. But I sort of I didn't really pay too much attention. But I was happy for him when he scored points, and I suppose I was sort of supporting him. I suppose you could say that. So I'll probably be supporting Sauber next year. I mean, I do support Sutil, as you all know. Not because he's a necessarily good driver, but I want to feel what you're talking about, engineer. So yeah, probably be supporting Sauber next year. I might get some merchandise, I don't know. But Sauber's sort of the team I wanted it to be. Sutil and Gutierrez was sort of the team I wanted it to be. But I don't think we're going to catch these guys. They're just a bit too far up the road. We haven't really caught them on this lap. And as we head on to this final lap of the race, it's sort of became dry. This could even all be, this probably is dry conditions, you would say. 1 minute, around 1 minute. It's a pretty good gap, I think. Oh, there's so much wheel spin coming out of there. It's painful to listen to. Yeah, I want to be driving the dry tyres here. a little bit of spray coming up, but definitely the dry tyres would be the one you'd want to be on. Saying that, we're not doing too badly. No, he's cutting down the gap. We've got to go faster. We've got to beat him by a minute. Yeah, that was good. Now put it into fast fuel mixture down the straight. And then we'll get to the end of the straight, we'll turn it down. Because somebody said in my comment section that putting it to fast is good for the acceleration. But it doesn't matter once you're at top speed. It doesn't really matter if you're in the top fuel band or not. Top fuel mixture, I should say. It's quite complicated to do all this at the same time, but here we are. This is our first 100% race on F1 2013, and we're going to bring home a win and a good lap to finish it off. And I really am happy. That was a really good race. Wow, that was fun. As I said, let me know if you've watched all 1 hour and 26 minutes, coming up to 1 minute 26, and we beat him. What? He lost like 8 seconds on that last lap? I don't know what happened to him there, but Hamilton made his way up to 4th again. But let's run down the order for a final time. Alonso, me, Grosjean second, then it's Massa, Hamilton, Webber, Rosberg, Raikkonen, Hulkenberg, Perez, Gutierrez. What? Gutierrez was a lap? I didn't lap him, did I? I don't even know. Then it's John-Eric Verne, De Resta, Bottas, Sutil, Ricciardo, Maldonado, Button, who was second position for a lot of that race, remember. A lot of the first part of the race, remember. Then it was Van der Garde, Chilton, Peak, Bianchi, and then Sebastian Vettel. I am so happy we won that race, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed watching it. I appreciate it so much. If you have got this far, please hit the like button and leave a comment. Share with friends. I appreciate it so much. Right. I'm tired. I'm going to go and edit this video now. Oh, that was a good one. Thanks for watching, guys. It's been Alex. I'm out of here. Goodbye. Hi guys, hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, be sure to leave a like on the video, it is much appreciated. If you have any comments, be sure to leave them in the comment section down below, and hopefully I'll respond to as many as possible. If you want to check out GT Omega, there is also a link down in the description. Also some sales on recently, as it is Christmas time, so if you want to grab a bargain there, it might be one down in the description. But anyway, hopefully you enjoyed the video. I appreciate you watching. It's been Alex, and I'm out of here. Goodbye.